August 16th. We're going to do a little walkabout and just see what kind of mast crop this year produced. And that's a real important cycles in and cycles out. It's not always going to be the same every year. So we'll just check out some of this natural forage. This first tree we're going up to is a red oak, and they produce acorns, but the deer don't really gravitate to them as much as other acorns. They're not quite as sweet. And as I scan up through there, this was definitely an off year for the red oak. Very little, if none, were produced this year. Now this tree over here is the hedge, and this is an off year for this hedge apple tree also, because usually this tree is loaded, and I can see one hedge apple up there. Well, two, I guess there's two up there. So it was an off year for hedge apples on this tree. And like I say, usually this tree is laden with them heavily. We get over here in the hickory nut, and the turkey gravitate to those hickories and the squirrels do. But not seeing too many. Like I say, the mast crop comes and goes. Some years it's abundant, and other years they just don't produce. But we'll keep looking. We'll find some white oak and see if the white oak did any good. We're into a moderate drought condition down here. Yeah, we've had more rain than other places in Iowa, but we are in a dry period, and it's supposed to continue that way for the next 2 weeks. So, but I've seen it a lot drier a few years back. This is, like I said, I have seen it a lot drier at this time of the year. And here is a deer ice cream. These bushes are just loaded with hazelnuts. This is a bountiful year for hazelnuts. I mean, everywhere I look on this bush, just covered up with them. So that's a good sign. As we look over here on the hedge apple trees, these are non-existent hedge balls. Absolutely zero. It's really funny how Mother Nature manages her food source from year to year. Like I say, that hedge apple tree usually has them loaded the way the limbs are hanging down, and then all we have to do is go over here. We're only feet away. Let's see if I can get that in the same view. Okay, there's the hedge apples, and here's the hazelnuts. So, look at that clump of hazelnuts, and zero hedge apples. So, it amazes me how Mother Nature alternates her mast crop. Yep, every hazelnut bush I see is abound with the hazelnuts. And it just, no matter where I go, every time I find one of them bushes, it produced a banner crop of hazelnuts. We'll go over here and look at this oak tree. There's a few acorns on there, but not a tremendous amount. Them would have been the white oaks right there. There's my two favorite fishermen. What did you catch?
A bass.
A big one?
Yeah. But where were you?
I was up getting the camera.
We got a really big bass.
Oh.
Favor.
Hey, Johnny, come on, got you one. One on the hook.
What's the old stump?
Oh my gosh.
This is a giant bass. Oh, holy mackerel.
Oh. Get over by him. Wow, good catch, little buddy. Oh boy. Oh, he go back in there. Good job, Grandma. Donovan? Yeah, but let's see if there's any deer tracks on this trail. Walk down through that mud. Come on. Follow me.
Oh, man.
Look at the deer tracks on that trail.
You know what I'm thinking?
What do you think? What you think? Look at all
no
that.
more water.
Oh yeah, we'll find a creek with water in it though. Wow. Look at the deer tracks on there. See where they've been crossing? A bunch of them have been up there, haven't they?
You know what?
What?
I see deer tracks.
Well, let's go up this trail. Okay, come on down there. Be careful.
I'm coming down, but this is worse than I've ever had.
Good job. Now you left your little feet print there. Let's see if there's any Indian arrowheads in this, right in here. See if there's any arrowheads in these rocks.
No, they're inside the rocks.
Well, no, they could be laying on top. They look like an arrowhead if you see them.
I think I see an arrow.
Roll that rock over. Maybe a bug's in it.
Oh, no.
Get a bug?
I caught another little centipede.
Another centipede, huh?
I could catch one in 10 minutes.
Oh, okay.
How would the water not come anymore?
Well, because this ain't the main creek. Come on. Let's go down to the big creek. Had to take a little break. Beautiful morning to be out here. Well, this says something. That's the main creek. And like I said, step over here, Donnie. Don't get too close to that edge. The creek is bone dry. Oh boy. Well, that's not good for food plots, that's for sure. We'll get on down here.
Spider web on me.
Well, that's part about being outside. You walk, just wipe it off your face.
I can't. It's too sticky.
Here, Grandpa will get it. Give me a face.
It's everywhere.
Yeah. Okay. You're all right. Come on. Let's go. It's dry. Missouri crossing completely dry. A few little mud puddles. Oh, well, it's August in Iowa. That's why fall annuals are always a crapshoot. There's a little water up there. There's a whole bunch of frogs up there. I see a whole bunch of frogs with their heads up there. But I don't know if they'll start jumping. You want to walk on up there and see if you can get close to them? Go ahead, buddy.
But it's muddy. I'll get stuck. It's a deer track. It's a deer track.
Oh, there's some frogs. They're all jumping.
Hey!
And frogs are all up there. Yeah, they're all. Look at them jump.
Here?
Huh?
You guys have foxes here?
Raccoons.
Well, I found raccoon tracks.
Yep. You're an adventurous little soul. See all the raccoon tracks over there? Donnie, right here, buddy. Look at all the raccoon tracks right there.
Oh.
See them?
Those are raccoon tracks?
Yeah.
What are these?
That little place, this place is loaded with frogs.
What are these tracks?
That little spot right there must have 100 frogs in it. He's got, yeah, had a bunch of little froggies in there. A little pond of water. But they all took off.
I think we have to go into the water.
Yeah, they disappeared.
I think we have to go into the water.
Well, if you want to walk into it, walk into it.
Oh, that's cold.
Is that cold? Well, let's go on up. The froggies jumped in the water. Right here is why you plant clover. It's an extreme, moderate drought down here. Considerably, it's not really quite a drought. It's bad as some places in Iowa. But you can see that stand of lush clover. It's in low ground and it offers a lot of food and it survived through this dry period. Well, we're going to venture up here. We planted this on the 3rd of this pure attraction. Planted it on the 3rd of August.
And I got to go and grab his shoulders.
And not much rain. So it germinated some. Nowhere, I would say, fall annual food plots. It rained, but not hardly enough to take the harrow tracks out of here. But it's got a green flash to it. And if you don't get any more rain, it's just, like I said, you can do everything right. It don't make any difference if it don't rain. If it don't rain, it won't grow grain. And we probably only had about quarter of an inch since we planted this, so, and this is in low ground, so I guess we're fortunate to have what we got. But just keep in mind, now over here in the shade you can see where it held moisture at, and those forage oats and stuff really took off. But we need rain bad. Another one of those hidden clover plots. And it's not growed, so it's not been mowed because it was extremely hot and very little rain. You see that black dirt?
Yeah.
Get a handful of it. Now, old Donnie's going to show you the moisture. Just yeah. Now make a, yeah. See? That dirt is black, and you can make a little mud ball out of it. That's where you want to plant your clovers or perennials at, especially on a dry year. That's why it's really critical to know the moisture content, how your land lays. That's why this is still lush green. It holds the moisture, it gets some sunlight, but it doesn't evaporate as fast. Now all we got to do is go back out here to the bigger field where we planted the pure attraction, and you'll definitely see the difference in moisture content. Now you can see what I was talking about. Forage oats, Nebraskas are in the shaded wet area. Everywhere where it holds moisture at, this stuff is germinating And everywhere it gets direct sunlight, when it's dry, the soil gets dry. So it's always a crapshoot on doing this. Well, we still got time. The seed's in the ground, and it just needs a whole lot more moisture. Like out in this area here, you can see the sun's on it right now, early in the morning, and it'll be on it most of the day. So that's extremely dry area. Now, if you got more rain, that would be good, because that would be conducive to make it grow. But right now, it's really slow going. That's why fall annuals are a real crapshoot, because you only got one time to do them right. You know it's dry when you see cracks like that in the ground. We'll venture up here. There's a good view for you. Destination. And that strip, it's been right at 2 weeks in there, and very little to no germination. It's just, like I said, no matter how valiant your effort is, if you don't get the rain, as you can see down through there, now the seed's still there, and there are some, looks like some brassicas germinated, but you know, one can only think. We had some extreme hot weather and no rain. That's why it's so critical to make sure you have a good perennial stand, because now there's still a lot of time. That seed's still in there. Good quality seed from Whitetail Institute with that destination. But it's got to have some rain. And this is high ground. We're down on low ground. You can see the difference in the moisture up here in the sun. It's just completely bone dry. This hedge apple tree here, it always has good hedge balls on it. You can see it's really loaded with them right now. As you've seen on my previous videos, the deer really gravitate to them. Go over to this white oak and see what the acorns look like. Yeah, acorns this year is that off year, and last year this tree was loaded with them. This year, nil to none. And that's your mast crop. It comes and goes. Like I said, we had hazelnuts, but the acorns this year are basically non-existent. And this is a white oak, two of them giant white oaks that usually produce hundreds, thousands of acorns. And this year, I can look up through that tree and I don't see one. Nothing back here is germinated. The nice thing about it, the weeds didn't from that stale disting, they haven't. And here's another white oak. And once again, not an acorn to be seen, but this is in the shade. This will give you an idea how dry the ground is. But that's the way it goes. Just witnessed it from the clover perennials to the annuals. That's why it's so important. I don't care what the BS or the personalities touting this or that. If you don't have a perennial and a good percentage of your food plot sites in a perennial, you're asking for trouble. Because in a dry year like what we're going through this year, even though we did everything right, soil test, fertilizer, you look down through here Now we're getting a little green flash up there on top, but very little germination going on. Absolutely no germination going on whatsoever. Turkey feather. But, and you can the sad part about it is it's been 2 weeks ago. And there's the cracks. It's been 2 weeks ago since we were up here preparing this, and it's still got the caulipacker track in it. Now over here in the shade where we were planting that nurse crop, the forage oats are coming up because they're in the shade somewhat, and the clover, I don't see any clover, but the oats have started to germinate because the moisture stays in here. Everywhere else on this place it's completely dry. Like I say, this is August 16th, so the month of August is half over, and if we had a 1/4 inch of rain, we'd been lucky. But one thing about it, we grew some corn, and that's a full ear of corn. So I'm not going to pick it because it's just the way it is, but we do got that as a go-to winter source, and with the lack of acorns and stuff, and this is not by any means the end of the road. The nice thing about planting a Baraska seed or any hard seed in warm soil, it won't rot. Now if you was to plant, the chicory, that's chicory right there I spread on here with the clover, it really started taking off. Anyhow, something met its demise up here. Yeah, looks like a little bird. That's too bad, but that's nature. You know, the hickories, there are a few hickory nuts that came down. We had some wind down there, nothing as bad as northern Iowa. Northern Iowa got the wind and the rain, and we didn't get the wind or the rain. And that's just what you have to contend with. In today's society, people that are venturing out planting food plots can get really depressed because you're going to have good years with abundant rainfall, and you're going to have years that are dry. And that's just the way it is. And like I said, you can spend the money, you can spend the time. You've got to do that to lay the foundation, but there's no guarantees in an annual fall food plot, none whatsoever. That's why, and I got to keep emphasizing this, your #1 food plot source should be your perennial clover, alfalfa type product. They have an entire year to grow, where your annuals, it's a crapshoot. And like I said, I don't care what celebrity or what brand is on the bag or what. If Mother Nature don't send rain your way, then without rain you don't make grain. I'll venture back here to our alpha rack clover plot, and here again, this is flourishing in a drought per se. I didn't mow it because there's no use of mowing it down, but you can see it's loaded with your clover. And if you do get rain, I fertilized that, and it's been I don't know, probably 3 weeks ago now with the 624-24, and I can't see my tire tracks in it, so it stood back up. But it's really hard. You can't mow because it was under so much stress. But with that said, it's still green and it's still providing high protein forage. So that's why, well, I sound like a broken record, but perennials are your go-to food plot source. But as I ventured past all these mighty oak trees, it really is disheartening. But then again, that's just nature, and that's no rhyme or reason. But the mast crop was way off this year. Oh boy, this is not good. This was planted 20 days ago with my pure attraction, and it's just been devastated by predation. Must be turkeys in here. Have just scratched this dirt all up. And there's a turkey feather right there. Little Donnie, can you get that turkey feather? Right there in front of you. You're going to walk on it right there. Oh man. I didn't want to see this, but I can see plenty of turkey scratching going on in here. They have just devastated this field. Now where it was wet at, oh man, they've been got dusting bowls, you name it. They've just obliterated this. Now where it was moisture at, under those trees, what you're seeing is the forage oats. But if you look at all that pawing and scratching that's been going on, this is sickening. But it's a food plot, and that's what you got to be faced with. Yeah, this is sort of like, no matter your best effort doesn't mean it's going to work. You got to have all the dominoes drop in your favor, just like the president. No matter how hard he tries, he's met with resistance from the liberal society. And this is not resistance, this is just Mother Nature. And you're going to have to face that reality because that's how it happens. Now, like I said, this is pure attraction. And here in the shaded area, it's doing great. But when you get out here in the sun area, where little Donnie is, it's just been, it's just been pulverized in that dust. The turkeys must have been playing in it like little Donnie. And as you can see, where the direct sunlight is, it's really had really bad germination. And they've pawed up out through here. But you've seen us plant this on the 3rd of August. And you can just see the tracks. I don't know, either deer tracks or turkey tracks or whatever. They've been a mole working in here. So even when you do your best effort and you do everything accordingly right by man, Mother Nature has the final say. And there are some brassicas and forage oats that did germinate. Now back in that corner back there, it did real good because that's out of the sun, and what little moisture it had, it got it to germinate. But in here, we haven't had a ½ inch of rain. And like I say, there's more turkey feathers down here. So the turkey must just been really having a heyday down in here. They were playing in it like little Donnie. Oh well, such is life. I just want to make this clear. The difference between perennials and annuals you just seen. About 75 feet here, away from here, where I stand, is a beautiful perennial clover plot that's holding up well. But when you plant an annual in the fall, if you don't get timely moisture, it can go south on you in a hurry. So what I'm going to do is come in here with Forage Oats and try to get this overseeded just prior to a rainfall. And we're supposed to be in the high 90s all week long, so it's not going to be this week. So it's not supposed to rain until sometime the first week of September possibly, and that's over a week away. So just like this man, he tries his best to make America great, and you got other people that want to take your land, your guns, your rights, and everything away, and rule you. Well, I got news for Democrats. There ain't one that's going to lead me, and there's not going to be one that's going to rule me. At 70 years old, I'm willing to go on the other side to see that happen.